live from the parking lot of Sprouts Farmers Market. Once again, it's Tuesday, Parking Lot Tuesday, the 2nd of January, 2024. 2024 was predicted by Nostradamus in the famous couplet that translated roughly, 2024,
duck.
The Orange King shall eat his young.
Duck.
Huh?
I thought he said duck.
Duck.
Duck and cover.
Watch out.
Duck and cover.
Pull the covers over your head for the entire year.
It's going to be a lot of storms.
Yes. So, anyway, welcome. Here we are, just a little bit late, but I warned you. And I'm here with St. Constance, who is just getting ready to go in and shop for essence of Brussels sprouts. We're just cutting straight to it. We're taking it, just Brussels sprout essence.
Extract.
Brussels sprout extract. Where a doctor gave us syringes.
We do eat lots of cruciferous vegetables.
Yes, it's a real gas. Okay. Oh, I'm just about ready to finish, and you would have been so disappointed if this is all you heard today. But I'm going to turn this.
You'd be disappointed after the rest
You're
of it.
probably disappointed right now, so I'm going to turn the camera around to my lovely bride.
Good morning. Happy New Year. I'm not going to talk about any esoteric subjects today because...
Talk about the abyss.
I'm tired of seeing people across the miles with that deer in the headlights look. I feel the deer in the headlights look. So, the one Lon always has when I talk to him.
Talk about the abyss. Talk about singularity.
So, I'm just going to say briefly, Happy New Year, and eat more vegetables and less meat.
That's wise advice. We don't realize how helpful toward the planet and fellow people.
And our government subsidizes sugar and subsidizes meat and dairy and things that are not particularly good for us. So the price of vegetables is very high. So whine about it to everybody.
Thank you. That's so revolutionary.
Now I'm going to go shop.
Okay. Well, that's the militant message from. It's really cold, and
it's cold this morning. It's cold.
Constance heated up our puppies that we usually sleep with, and put them in a thermal bag.
Yes, and Lon has one under his vest right now, a small one.
Yeah.
And I have the biggest one here, which is named Mount Kailash.
That's right.
Because it's kind of white flannel cover and it's big. Okay, it's going to get esoteric here. I've got to go now.
Oh, there you go. There you go. Okay, bye, dear. Get us some...
Don't worry.
Romanesco to go with that essence of Brussels sprouts.
Baby bok choy.
Oh, now baby bok choy I really like.
It's sweet.
Yeah, it's like eating jade. Okay, well if
garlic and ginger and peppercino.
If I look extra hefty today. It's because...
Oh, yeah, he needs an excuse. It's because of all the Brussels sprouts.
Because I got Brussels sprouts.
And cream mushroom with creamy sauce.
Okay. Goodbye, darling. Okay. Now we're alone. Let's talk about magical mottos. I've done it before in other capacities and things like that, but it's the new year. I guess she didn't want to get into it, but Constance mentioned the other day the idea of when your perception of reality, I guess, and your place in the illusionary reality that's constantly shifting, that it's time to take up another motto. And I've a magical motto, if you will. And because at the beginning of every year, around New Year's, when we make New Year's resolutions and everything else, it might not be a bad time for you to actually consider, if you do have a magical motto or haven't chosen one yet, to take stock of who the fuck you think you are. And kind of that's what a magical motto is. As a matter of fact, I think it's in many occult dictionaries. It says magical motto. Who the fuck do you think you are? And at New Year's, as we're looking back at the years and we've just gone through, and the challenges and the triumphs and tragedies of the year, we're different people than we were last year this time. Technically, we're different people than we were at the beginning of this broadcast. But at the year mark, it's easy for us kind of to see, well, gee, my perception of things has changed. My goals have changed. My needs have changed. My aspirations, my dreams, and mostly, who do I think I am at the moment? And that's kind of what magical mottos are about. I'm going to read you a little something that I wrote literally 12 years ago. About magical mottos. I chose my first magical motto in 1976 on the occasion of my reception as an AA probationer under the mentorship of Phyllis Seckler McMurtry. She was married to Grady at the time. I chose for my motto a phrase that incorporated the initials of my name. Okay, LMD. And if you're, I'll talk about it, but LMD is my initials. LMD is Lamed in Hebrew. And, I got it in a footnote. Throughout my magical career, LMD has continued to serve me well. When I was consecrated Archbishop in Ecclesia Gnostica Catholica, I took the ecclesiastical name Tau Lamed. Also, I took the name Rabbi Lamed ben Clifford, Lamed, son of Clifford. Clifford was my father's name, as my nom de plume for my books, Chicken Kabbalah, Rabbi Lamed ben Clifford, and son of Chicken Kabbalah. Okay. That really was a digression. I chose for my motto a phrase that incorporated, well, let me back up. I chose for my first magical motto back in 1976 on the occasion of my reception as an AA probationer under the mentorship of Phyllis Seckler McMurtry. Okay. That's my formal magical motto, where you're put on the spot and say, what's your magical motto? I'm going to put it in writing, chisel it in stone. I chose for my motto a phrase that incorporated the initials of my name. I chose 3 words: liberty, mastery, dignity. LMD. To further abet my magical pretensions, hey, and when you're making your magical motto, you're absolutely free, indeed encouraged, to be as presumptuous and pompous and unrealistically ego-centered as you want, okay? Because no matter how much you exaggerate the lofty ideals of your magical motto, you ain't going to get anywhere near that in reality. But shoot for it, for Christ's sake. Okay. Liberty, mastery, dignity. To further abet my magical pretensions, I thought it'd be extra elegant if I said it in French. Liberté, maîtrise, dignité. LMD is also the full spelling of the Hebrew word letter lamed, which is traditionally assigned to the tarot trump justice. I felt my life could use the balance and discrimination that card represents. 1 year later, when it came time for me to advance to the grade of neophyte, I had grown more thoughtful and a little less pompous. The ordeals and challenges of my probationary year had humbled me a bit, and my quest had become seriously personal and almost painfully simple. In what was becoming for me an increasingly complex universe, I realized that my only refuge, my only defense and protection, my only hope for survival, and my only hope for eventual self-mastery rested in my ability to make and keep my spiritual aspirations as innocent and pure as possible. And it was during this time that I was affected, really moved by the opera Parsifal and the myth of Parsifal, the pure fool. So, I chose the motto, purity of aspiration. Again, I rendered it, the phrase in French, pureté de l'aspiration. My subsequent mottos were, and I don't mention here, but I held on to the mottos as long as I felt I was in that that tree of life level degree, and my subsequent mottos were Hoathiada, which is Enochian, or the angelic language, for true worshiper of the highest. Okay, what is it? Madrias Torzu, Adriax Rocha Broapri. Well, anyway. Perhaps my favorite motto, and the one I thought might last me for the duration of this incarnation, was Adeo Sat Bene. A-D-E-O, next word S-A-T, next word B-E-N-E, which is Latin for the equivalent of so far so good. I figured, you know, the old joke about a guy jumped off the top of a you know, the 100-story building, and it took him a long time to finally reach the sidewalk. And as he was falling, people had time to stick their head out the window and say, how's it going? And he kept saying, so far, so good. Okay. Perhaps my favorite motto, yes, was Ad Deo Sat Bene. As a matter of fact, I enshrined it in a stamp along with my OTO or the OTO lamin and things like that, and stamped it in various books, things. 2 years ago, so 2 years ago would now mean about, I think, 14 years ago. I accepted a new motto. Only love is. Nostalgically, I returned to the French. Seul l'amour est. Before we go any further, I'd like you to pause now and settle the matter of your magical motto. If you already have a motto, fine. If you don't, I want you to create one right now. I'll wait. Good. Got it? Good. Now I want you to use your new magical motto to formally give birth to yourself. I'm serious. Do you think you can become a magician just by reading about it? No, you actually have to do stuff yourself, stuff that nobody else can do for you. Sorry, this is your show. In order to give birth to yourself, you need to be your own mother, father, midwife, and baby. So please listen up. To illustrate their condition of spiritual blindness, candidates for initiation are, or at least have been since time immemorial, first blindfolded, hoodwinked, and bound hand and foot at the beginning of the ceremony. This is obviously a disturbing and uncomfortable position to find oneself, and that's exactly why it's done. It's supposed to be disturbing and uncomfortable. Before initiation, we dwell in darkness, blind to the light of the greater reality that is enjoyed by the more spiritually enlightened. The candidate is unable to move forward effectively in this blind and ignorant state, unable to help himself or herself, let alone others, while in this sorry condition. I'm tempted to digress for a second, because this line has reminded me that, I probably shouldn't even say it. You can't move forward effectively in this blind and ignorant state, unable to help himself or herself, let alone others. Now, it's a good thing to want to help others. It's a good thing. It completes a wonderful, magical, loving circuit to altruistically want to help others. But are you really being a help to others? And this is something I have to think about every day. Is it really a help to others to presume to guide them when you're still so incredibly fucked up yourself? Again, that's where the seriousness of your magical motto and who you think you are and what you hope to accomplish with your magic. As the ceremony proceeds, the bound and hoodwinked candidate travels, is led around the temple or lodge room, and is taught certain lessons. Eventually, as the candidate grows in knowledge and wisdom, the fetters are gradually removed. The climax of this part of the ceremony is when the hoodwink is removed, and the candidate is, quote, brought to light, unquote. But before this supreme moment, the candidate must first take an oath. And that's done while you're still tied up and blindfolded. It's a leap. I hate to say it, it's a leap of faith. It's a conscious stepping blind, deaf, and dumb into an abyss. And it's where in many fraternities and organizations, the candidate can't make that step into the abyss. In a college fraternity, that's where the candidate says, "No, I don't want to belong to your crazy group. I'm not going to do that. I don't know what I'm saying." And there's stories, especially in rural parts of the country where simple sort of simple men want to join the Masons, and they see people walking around in top hats and and they get freaked out, because they're kneeling, putting their hands on Bibles, getting ready to swear God knows what, and there's always stories of candidates bolting out of the lodge room saying they're devil worshippers. But anyway, I digress. Where is it? It's a scary thing being obliged to take a solemn oath in a ceremony like this. After all, you're making some very serious promises to people you can't even see while being tied up and completely at their mercy. In a temple or lodge room ceremony, the candidate must do a little soul searching. Pragmatically, it's clear that unless he or she goes on and goes ahead and takes the oath, the initiation won't continue. The blindfold will stay on, and he or she will be removed from the initiation chamber and sent back into the outer darkness, or to the parking lot, and with their initiation fees not returned. Almost always, the candidate dutifully proceeds to repeat the oath, no matter how it is worded, because in truth, he or she is mildly confident that nothing too bad will happen. Unless you've read ahead in this book, you're not sure exactly what you're going to promise in the oath you're about to take. But hey, don't you trust me? I hope you said no. Come on, even though you think it's silly, take the first step in your homemade initiation. It's disarmingly easy, and it'll only take a moment. Start by taking a deep breath and pretending that you're in the presence of the supreme intelligence of the universe, because you really are. Now recite the oath out loud with full magical intent. Then, if you don't see anything in the oath that you object to, sign it right here in the book and use it. Sign it, your new magical motto. If you don't like this oath, cross it out and make up another one. Then recite it and sign it. And here's the oath. I'll read it through once, and then I'll read it through in sections in case you want to repeat after me. Oath. I, and then your magical motto. I, suel est. In the presence of all I hold sacred, do hereby accept absolute responsibility for my own condition of darkness and ignorance, and solemnly acknowledge and declare that ultimately only I can bring myself to light. So, in a lodge ceremony, you'd say, repeat after me. I, in the presence of all I hold sacred, I hereby accept absolute responsibility for my own condition of darkness and ignorance, and solemnly acknowledge and declare that ultimately only I can bring myself to light. There, wasn't that easy? It has only taken you countless incarnations, plus the numbers of years, days, hours, and seconds of this current life to get to this moment. Congratulations. The hardest part is over. So, do you have a new motto for 2024? Good. Until tomorrow, continue to be good to yourself, be good to each other. Do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law. Love is the law, love under will.